Okay, hi everybody. This is group 3. So this is tracing the physical properties of warm molecular gas through observation and models of the submillimeter CO rotation ladder. And this is the group, which we don't have time to explain, but we did number everybody, so you know who everybody is. So to introduce our target is the Orion bar PDR, as seen here in this image with Hubble in the visible. So the Orion bar PDR sits at around a distance of 414 parsecs. So this is within the Milky Way, and this sits at about a metallicity of Z solar. And so you can see here, this is what it looks like in the visible. But if we go to longer wavelengths in the infrared with something like JWST or Herschel, we can see a lot of the gas structure and the interplay between the gas and the dust and the heating mechanisms. So the goal of this project was to characterize the physical conditions of the Orion bar PDR, which is a local template for dense and highly irradiated PDRs in general. But before we get started, what is a PDR, or a photodissociation region? So PDRs are characterized anywhere where far UV photons dominate the heating and the chemistry in the region. So this can happen all throughout the galaxy and across the universe. But the one that we're going to be talking about today is between an H2 region and a molecular cloud. So you can see here that we span a range of AV, and we also span a range of gas temperature as well as density. You can see here in the deepest parts of the PDR, where the molecular cloud is, we have CO, and we can use CO as a tracer of the temperature, which is something we'll talk about next.
The data that we used in this hands-on project comes from the Guaranteed Time Key Program Hexos, which used the Hi-Fi instrument of Herschel Space Telescope. It aims at doing molecular line spectroscopy with a high resolution. So in this work, we studied spectrum, that is a line survey that targeted broad bandwidth going from 490 to 1060 gigahertz in order to observe CO rotational emission lines. And indeed, in these spectrums, you can find lines emitted by rotational transition of CO molecules, as well as 13CO and C18O. And you will see why we study this.
So we analyzed the Hi-Fi data and fitted the observed with using GILDAS and class, and we used Gaussians to fit the observed lines. And our target was to derive rotational temperatures and total column densities using these rotational diagrams. How did we do that? The level populations follow a Boltzmann distribution, so we expect to see straight lines, as you see here, and that's what we observed. And once we fit a slope using the second formula, we get the rotation temperatures. From the intercept and the partition function, we can derive the total column densities. And here here we can see that carbon monoxide had really high temperatures in comparison to its isotopologues C13CO and C18O. That's because the isotopologues and CO trace different physical depths in the PDR, and we saw a similar trend in the total column densities. And we must remember that here we are assuming local thermodynamic equilibrium regime.
So now we move away from the assumption that we are in LTE, and we do non-LTE modeling with the escape probability code radix. For example, we take the CO transition J is equal to 2 to 1. As you can see here, we have plotted line opacity versus the column density of CO at a constant gas density of 10 to the power 3 per centimeter cube. The line opacity increases with the column density, and this is because the line opacity depends on the population of the upper level, which is related to the total column density by the Boltzmann equation. We also see that at high gas temperatures or high T kinetic, the line opacity is less. And this is because higher levels are populated at higher gas temperatures, and so the population of the N equal to 2 level decreases. Next, we plot the Rayleigh Jeans temperature or the brightness temperature with respect to the total column density. And we see that the brightness temperature increases with column density in the optically thin regime. And this is because when you have more CO, you have more emission and more intensity. However, in the optically thick regime, we see that the Rayleigh Jeans temperature saturates. And this is because the photons in the medium are reabsorbed and not emitted. We also see that this temperature saturates at the value of T excitation, which is less than T kinetic, as you can see from the plot here. And this is because we are still in the non-LTE regime.
Finally, we look into the PDR model made by the medium PDR model with physical conditions of Orion bar. So this we see the evolution of hydrogen number density with increasing visual extinction, or as we see deeper into the PDR. And what we see is the transition of atomic hydrogen to molecular hydrogen, and the gas temperature decrease with this transition. And this is the transition of carbon from ionized carbon to atomic carbon to CO as the visual extinction increase. And this happens around 0.5 to 1 AV.
So, in conclusion, from the estimated column density ratio between 12 CO and 13 CO of about 4, which is lower than isotopic ratio value in our Orion, we can infer that for 12 CO emission is optical thick. Instead, between 13 CO and C18O of about 7, which is similar of the isotopic ratio value in Orion, we can infer that for the both molecules, the emission is optical thin. Furthermore, from the Radex models, we could estimate the gas physical condition from the CO at that observed frequency range. And we could suggest that the gas is warm and dense in Orion bar. Therefore, CO ladder is an excellent tracer of warm and dense gas in high mass star-forming regions. Finally, we would like to thank our tutors and the organizers of this school for giving us this opportunity. Thank you.
Questions?
Come on. Come on, come on. Come on.
What? I can't see. Oh, there's no one. Okay. So just a question. So we know very well the structure of the Orion bar. So is there a large velocity gradient in this region? So is the LVG hypothesis justified?
Yeah, we actually didn't do the LGV gradient in the Radex models. We just did I think it was the original. We didn't actually look into that. That wasn't something that we did. But it probably would be a good approximation in Orion.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry.
Thank you. How did you have any results from the literature that you could compare yours with, and how did they compare?
Yeah, so on this this slide right here, where we have the do you want to? Okay, yeah. Yeah, for these values right here, the 70 and 7, these are actually literature values that we would expect from theory. And then we find in the actual observes, when we actually do the modeling, we find lower values for 12 CO, but a similar ratio for 13 and C18O.
Okay, thank you.